Hello and welcome to another episode of Matthew Answers the Internet. I'm Matthew, and with a lot of your help, I'm going to try and answer a bunch of those burning board game questions that we find as we're scrolling along. Let's go for it. And the first question I have is, which board game awards mean the most? There's a lot of board game awards, just loads. Normally there's some type of governing body of board games per country. And then there's different groups within countries, different trade bodies have different awards, loads of board game awards. But which ones mean the most? Which ones are the most important? To me, it has to be said that the most important award is the Spiel des Jahres. It has to be. Because winning the Spiel des Jahres not only means that you need to go and print 100,000 copies of your game to sell in Germany alone, it's just the biggest award, and it has been for a very, very long time. And there's been so many good games that's won the Spiel des Jahres, or has been Spiel des Jahres recommended, or has won the Kennerspiel or the Kinderspiel, the Gamers Award or the Kids Award. If a game has a Spiel des Jahres logo on it at all, I'm interested in that game and I will probably want to try it. I was looking at games that have won the Spiel des Jahres specifically and which games I own, and there's Just One, Azul, King Domino, Codenames, Hanabi, Quirkle, Kingdom Builder, Celtis, Zularetto, Turn and Taxes, Alhambra, Carcassonne. So many games that I enjoy. The one kind of like outlier award that I care about quite a lot is the Mensa Select Award. Mensa is the group for geniuses, but they have a Mensa Select, which is normally aimed at games that are educational or clever, that type of thing. They didn't run for a little while because of the world being how it is. From 2019, some of the winners were Architects of the West Kingdom, but Gizmos won an award. Gonkimono won an award, which you just can't see. It's here. Gonkimono, brilliant game. And Planet won an award. So that's an award I really look out for. The other two types of awards that I think are quite important are the Board Game Geeks Award. I find that is a good general consensus often. I don't always agree with what wins, I don't think, but that's kind of because of how many people's opinions have been taken into account. It's a nice award, I think. And I think the same for the Dice Tower Awards, because the Dice Tower Awards, it isn't just Tom and Z and Mike Delisio coming up with who wins what. It's a bunch of people. There's like, I think 100 maybe people who come up with the Dice Tower Awards, content creators from across platforms and different people in the industry. Ultimately though, I own by far more games that have never won an award or never well won an award. Games that I've loved and enjoyed, so it doesn't really matter to me. There are some things I like to look out for, but overall, it doesn't matter. I mean, some board game comedy podcasts have been nominated for a Golden Geek 4 times. Never won. It's a bloody travesty, is what I call it. But it doesn't matter, is what I'll tell myself when we don't win again this time. What is the award that you look out for the most? When you see it gilding a box, you go, ooh, well, in that case, I'll have a look at this one. And let me know in the comments below. But before we go on to the next question, we have a word from the sponsor that made this episode possible. So off I go to stand over there. This episode is brought to you in part by Worldbreakers, Advent of Khanate, a 2-player card game set in an alternative 13th century. In this alternative timeline, you are a Worldbreaker, an individual who can harness the mysterious substance Mythium to magnify your natural talents. You can run further, swing your sword faster, and juggle more flaming chainsaws than anybody else. The Mongol princess Kutalan, a Worldbreaker and descendant of the great Genghis Khan, is reuniting the fractured hordes of the Mongol Empire. However, other factions are rising to oppose her, each with their own agenda. These include Marco Polo and his network of merchant spies, the elusive Order of Assassins, and the utopic Muhandasat Council of Engineers. Who will seize control of the Mythium and establish their empire? Maybe you, but success will require recruiting followers to control key regions and gaining power through location cards. Reach 10 power to win the game, forever reshaping history. Worldbreakers Advent of Khanate comes to Kickstarter on March 1st, so follow the link in the video's description to be notified when it launches, join its campaign, and get ready to break into Worldbreaker. And the next question I have is, what board game accessory couldn't you live without once you've tried it? I'm not much of a board game accessory, board game bling kind of guy. Metal coins, realistic resources, all that type of stuff, they're nice, and I do like them if I'm playing a game with them. I do go, ooh, that's nice. I was playing a game recently, and my friend had put the Stonemaier Games upgrade resources in the game, and I thought, do you know what, these are quite nice to use. I do like them. Top Shelf Gamer do really good stuff like that, but I never think to get it myself. You know, the most I would do is put some real buttons in the game patchwork or something. I'd always rather buy another game than bling out a game I already own. But then again, there are some times when you own a game that you absolutely love. Like for me, I love, talking about Stonemaier, I love Viticulture. It's one of my top favourite games of all time, top 3. And, you know, maybe I do want some lira to put in there. Or I could drink a whole bottle of wine. That's always something I'd be quite interested in doing as well. You may have noticed that on my desk I do have a mat. And I own 2 of these mats. They're like big-ish neoprene type of mats. I do like that. I do like a table covering of some description. It doesn't really matter what it is, as long as it's not lava. But I do like a table covering of some description, because it helps you pick up cards. So you're not going ruining the edging of all your cards, you know. And in some games, deck building games specifically, I do like sleeved cards because they're easier to shuffle. I will use a dice tray, but most often I will just use the inside of the box that the game came in as a dice tray if I need one, or do this with my hand and roll my dice into my hand. But I suppose they are quite good. I never really use dice towers, but I wouldn't mind a dice tower as a feature in a room, maybe. It's a showpiece, you know. I know that a lot of people really like board game inserts. They are great when you've got them. There's some that are like wooden, some that are foam that you can kind of like move out and they become all the trays. They seem to be very useful, and there's a level of crafting that's involved often with those that I'm never going to be able to do. But I do think I can see the value of those. But I quite like the little craft trays. Hold on. This is my copy of Trajan. Great game. And I do have, actually, surprisingly enough, I do have like a little craft tray thing. This is pretty useful. It's not perfect, but it's pretty useful at putting all the bits and pieces in. So I do like these. I picked this up, I think, for like £1.50 at a Home Bargains, which is a shop in the UK. And someone sent me, by someone I mean my friends Nick and Mike, the brothers Murph, they did send me the upgraded Board Game Geeks upgrade pieces, the upgrade stuff for this. But I've got both. I mean, what are you going to do? Throw these pieces away? That sounds, we're not doing that, are we? That would be crazy. So yeah, those are the kind of board game upgrades and component stuff I like. I would be interested in maybe like going on eBay and finding some Deutschmark, some old out of print currency to add into my games that are set in Germany. I can see the joy of doing that. But that's the board game accessories I like. What board game accessories do you like? I should play Trajan soon. This game is so good. That's not what we're talking about, but God, I love Trajan. The next question I have, I feel perfectly qualified to answer, because it's, what are your favourite Valentine's Day 2-player games? I've never been with a romantic partner over Valentine's Day whilst also in the board game hobby. It's been a while. It's been a while since I've been in a relationship. But yeah, so that's never something I've actually thought of. It's like, but do you want to play a board game? It's Valentine's Day. But I do love board games. I do love 2-player games. And if you want a list of great 2-player games, then I could absolutely do that. I'd say something like, I've written a few down, 13 days. You could play Paris Le Cité Lumière. You could play Mandala, Kulami, Tintas. I could go on. There's lots and lots of amazing two-player board games, but that might not necessarily be what's best. Because while I do enjoy the process of absolutely destroying someone and humiliating them at the board game table during a game of Lost Cities or Targi or Asante or something like that adds fun, I don't know if that's conducive to a lovely romantic evening in. I do think that instead of those great two-player head-to-head games, maybe a cooperative game is the way to go. I think a cooperative game is a great thing to do as a team. You know, that's the thing that you're trying to do. You're with a partner, you're a team, you know, two people together, you know, and I think that's something to be celebrated on Valentine's Day. So I wrote down the Siege of Rundar, which is a fantastic Knizia tower defense game. There's the Shipwreck Arcana, which is a very different type of cooperative game, because in that one it's a cooperative deduction game. Oh, it's really great. Shipwreck Arcana, underrated game. And also I said Pandemic World of Warcraft, because I can't stop thinking about that game because I loved it so much. And they're all great cooperative games that, you know, if you win, then you win together. And if you lose, then you kind of showed the person that you're with and the person that you love that you try hard to get to, you know, to get through hard times, maybe. I think that's better than saying, well, I won this game of Lost Cities and you got 0 points and I'm the best. While that's fun, it might not be conducive to a fulfilling and romantic evening. Another type of game you could play on Valentine's Day with your partner is something that's narrative or like a crime solvery type of game. I'm thinking of stuff like Carta Ventura, which are basically small choose your own adventure games. That'd be a good thing to do as a pair. The Coded Chronicles series from the Op I think would be good for that, and Suspect would be the ones that I would recommend. I think all those type of things where you're solving a mystery together, that could bring you closer together, right? I think that would be a good one to go for. I think the thing that would mean the most to me personally is if someone that I was with, a partner, came up to me and said, hey, Matthew, what game do you want to play? Anything you want. What do you want to play? And you tell them the game and they say, I will go and learn the rules and we'll play it, and I'll play the whole game with a smile on my face whether I like it or not. And I'll teach you how to play if you haven't played it before. Because that shows that someone is willing to do something for you in such a meaningful and kind way, I think. Or doing the same for someone else. If I was with someone and I'd say, hey, what game do you want to play? I'll go and learn it. I'll go and buy it. I'll go and learn it and I'll teach it to you. I think that's a real quality thing to do for someone. For anyone, really. For anyone, doesn't have to be a romantic partner. What a real treat for someone, I think, if they like board games. If your romantic partner isn't interested in board games, maybe take Valentine's Day off, asking them to play something. But those are my answers. What are yours? What games do you think are the best for Valentine's Day? I'd love to know. And the last question is just a quick one, which is what games have you played once, not enjoyed, and then fallen for the second time that you played? For me, that answer, I knew what the answer to this question was immediately. I didn't have to think about it, because the answer is the game Just One. Spiel des Jahres winning Just One. The first time I played it, I was annoyed. I was angry. I was like, this game is too simple to win the Spiel des Jahres. I was like, I was being an idiot, really. I was being so, like, up myself, I think. It's like, who the hell am I to make that decision? But I was like, no, I don't like this. There's too much. This is activity. It's not even a board game. It's just an activity. And I was in a bad mood about it, and I just thought, no, I don't like this. And then I ended up playing it again because it's just one, so it comes out all the time because it's so simple and everyone else enjoys it. And I played it and I thought, oh, come on, gosh damn it. I'm wrong about this game. It's good. It's really good. And I just went into it with a different mindset, a mindset that allowed myself to enjoy it. And then I was like, oh, I'm wrong. No one likes being wrong. And I thought, I'm wrong about this. Just One is a lot of fun. There's always some value to be gotten from trying things a second time with an open mind and a different mindset perhaps. So what games have you hated the first time, written off, rubbish, trash, everyone is wrong? Who is playing this and enjoying it? And then you played it the second time and you thought, oh, fair enough, that's pretty good actually, I like it. I'd love to know. Tell me what those board games are for you down below. We can see if we have some things that we agree on. And that's it. Thank you so much for watching another episode of Matthew Answers the Internet. I just appreciate it all so much. I appreciate you for watching. I really appreciate seeing your answers to all these questions below and the community and the engagement there. It really just makes me happy and it makes these videos worthwhile, I think. So thank you so much for that. And I'll see you next time. Bye everyone.